Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing another book reading vlog, and this one is specifically 2024 most anticipated books that I've been dying to read. And I'm starting off with Wild Love by Elsie Silver because it's Elsie Silver, need I say more? I absolutely love the cover for this one. It's pink, and it's like this most gorgeous hot pink with pale pink cover. In fairness, I'm in a notebook buying band, so otherwise I would have gotten myself a paperback. But if I'm loving this, and I mean loving this, like if this was like my must-have book, I will get this. Anyway, this is the first book that I will be starting off with. I think it's a single dad trope. I love being a single dad. Just saying. And let's see if any of these 2024 books are worth it. Let's see. First off, why am I getting such Binding 13 vibes, like the friendship between West and Ford, like it's Johnny and Gypsy? That's what it feels like to me. And I don't know, Ford just seems like very responsible. He's just like one of those men that will take action into his own hands and do it himself. I don't know. Loving him already. Alright, so I haven't checked in today yet. It's currently 9:28. Makes sense. It's only 9 AM. Listen, Ford is a perfection. He's an absolute perfection. Do I like the story? Yeah, I like the story, but I'm not loving it. I think my biggest issue is the fact that Chestnut Springs is the same author, if anyone doesn't know. But I love Chestnut Springs because you get such a found family trope in it. That's why I love it as much, I think. But in this one, yeah, you have all these characters, like small town characters specifically, but it just, you don't really get to see much, which I guess is the same thing in Chestnut Springs. In the first book, you didn't really get to know a lot of these characters until later on in the books. But it was still nice to see like Willa, who is Ford's sister, and you see her in this book as well. She made a cameo, and I don't know, I think it's literally because Chestnut Springs has such a fun family trope. I think I like that one more, and that's why I'm not loving this one as much. I don't know. My initial thoughts, yes, he's a single dad, but he's not that kind of single dad that you would have seen in Heartless or Reckless in Chestnut Springs series. If you read those books, like I feel like that's not that kind of vibe. Yeah, he's looking after his 12-year-old daughter now, so he basically donated sperm when he was younger because he wanted to go to a concert that his dad didn't want to pay for. So he was like, hey, I might as well just go and donate sperm. But now he's a billionaire, and his 12-year-old daughter shows up on the porch, and she's like, hey dad. Ford is an absolute perfection. Like, there was a quote where he said, basically the whole thing is tying in around her. When she was younger, she had a journal, and her diary entrances, like a couple pages she keeps leaving on his desk. It's a workplace relationship. Can I speak? It's a workplace relationship, and so they help one another out. They got one another's backs, which is sweet. It's wholesome. And there was a scene basically where she was just like, she broke up with her boyfriend when she was younger. It's a memory. And so she was like ringing Ford, even though they weren't like on friendly terms back then, and he is her brother's best friend. And she was like, can you come pick me up? And he broke every fucking speed limit that there was and got to her in 10 minutes, and she just presumed. She was like, oh, it's fine, he probably was out and about because he got here in 10 minutes, so I don't feel as bad ringing him. But the scene that I'm talking about, one of my favorite micro tropes is a guy who was simping so bad for her, for the main character, that he will go along with everything that she asks. He go, like, if she says, can you come pick me up? Yep. Can you do this? Yep. Can you get? Yep. That's my favorite, like, micro trope. I mean, like, it's just so good. So good. You can't go wrong with it. It's literally giving my way or the highway. Love that. Alright, who remembers, I don't know, whoever is as old as me, but who remembers the music video for Britney Spears? Oops, I did it. No, was it Oops, I did it again? What was the name of that song? Hold on, let me look up. Yeah, it's Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears. And who remembers that scene where she's like, oh, but isn't this? And he goes, yeah, the old lady or something dropped in the ocean. Well, I thought the old lady dropped it in the ocean or something, whatever it was. And he's like, yeah, I went down and got it. Who remembers that? Or am I the only one who's that old? But anyways, it's literally giving this vibe. So she threw out her journal back like 10 years ago when they, you know, were on friendly enough terms, and there was a scene. Doesn't matter what scene that was, but there was a scene, and they were driving along, and she has this journal that she was writing in, and then she ended up throwing that journal out the window in the car. And so she walks into work one of the days, and there is on the table her old journal, and she goes, it was still there after all these years. What a dumb question. Yeah, sure, after 10 years it was still there in the same condition. And he goes, no, I went there the day after you threw it and searched for it. Like, that's so sweet. And then he kept it for 10 years, hoping one day he'll meet her and give it back to her. Like, that was so sweet. Oh my god, I love this quote so much. It strikes me that she's always been so committed to not letting anyone down that she may never have really learned to put herself first. This actually speaks volumes. I love the main character of Rosie, whatever her name is. I feel like I relate to her a little bit. Not in the spectrum of me having a billionaire boss who's head over heels in love with me. Not in that aspect. But her being the younger sister of her brother. Of her older brother. But she has an older brother, and that older brother was always like causing ruckus, and he was like always getting in trouble, and he was up to no good, but in a funny banter kind of way. Like, it wasn't like he wasn't a bad person or something. She saw herself like she didn't want to be another burden to her parents. She didn't want to have them worry about her as well as her brother on top of that. So she just like really put everyone else above her needs. And I don't know, I love seeing myself in these books. Okay, I'm actually flabbergasted when you find out what he is carrying on his chain around his neck. If that isn't the sweetest thing that I've ever read. I need a minute! I'm liking it so far. I don't know if it's because it's the first book in the series, and maybe because like with Chestnut Springs, I didn't really love the first one either, but maybe it will keep getting better with each book, because I know Chestnut Springs was one of my favorite series just because of the whole family or found family trope in it. Like, it was just really strong on that sense. This one, I like the romance between the two main characters. I like the fact that like he has a 12-year-old daughter who shows up on the porch of his house. She's very much giving Villa vibes, and I love that. I loved Villa's book in what was it called? Heartless, yeah. Her and Kate are wholesome, and you actually get a scene with Villa. She appears in the book. But no, I actually wanna, I'm actually going to sit and finish the book. I've only like 3 hours left, and I'll see what I think. At the minute, I'm a little torn. I feel like it's like about a 4-star book for me, but I don't know how, I don't know. Can you tell? Because I can't tell. I think I just need a minute to kind of sit and gather my thoughts together, because I'm just really not sure. Yeah. Alright, so I'm finally home. I don't think I checked in after I finished Wild Love, but I'm checking in now. I started reading, well, hold on, let me just talk about Wild Love first. I finished it, I liked it. The ending just really reminded me of a Mariana Zapata endings. Like, they're very wholesome, they're very funny, they're just hits you right in your feels, and that's what it reminded me of. I gave that one 4.25. I felt like we were off to a great start, a better start than Chestnut Springs series, and I only realized, what was it, 20% before I finished the book, that it's actually not a cowboy romance, Why did I think it was cowboy romance book? I don't know what was happening there. Anywho, I liked it, I loved it, and moving on. I started Reckless and I'm currently on page 14. Until I realized I needed to highlight something, underline something, bookmark something. And I was just like, damn, I really forgot my stationery. I was just like, I forgot my tabs, I forgot my pencil, I forgot basically everything I needed for a physical copybook. But I'm liking it so far. Only page 14, but I'm liking it. This is the book that I will be reading on within the next few days. Because although I love reading my Kindle, I just like the feel of physical books sometimes. Anywho, moving on. This is the next book that I had started because obviously I didn't have my supplies with me. So I started First Light Wins, and it's a thriller. It's a short book. It's about 340 pages long. That's what it says on my Kindle. Sometimes it's wrong, but I'm liking it. It's fast enough, like it's fast-paced enough. Keeps me intrigued, keeps me interested, and I pretty much always read a Kindle before I fall asleep. So this is the book that I will be reading in the evenings. This one during the days. Unless I don't have this with me, then I have this with me. Good morning, guys. Listen, I literally just woke up. I stayed up way too long last night reading this bad boy. So my thoughts. I didn't vlog anything yesterday because I was cleaning my house, daycare drop-offs and pickups, and driving here and there, and then I also did my nails. I just didn't have enough time. I did get through last night while staying up late, and so I'm currently on page 172. Listen, I love it. I have nothing bad to say about it so far. I've seen a lot of people complain that this is purely romantic, not even romantic, this is purely a romance book at this stage. And you know what? The first book, I didn't even find it to be like super like strong fantasy elements, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, it had like some magical elements here and there. The world building isn't hard to grasp, but it didn't feel like a proper fantasy book. I love the characters, so of course, like, I'm gonna love the book. I mean, I still have a little over halfway to go, but I'm loving it. The banter between the characters is matched. Like, I love the first book so much, so I'm happy I'm liking it, because I've seen so many people complain about this book. I'm like, what do you mean? Am I in my Christmas pajamas? Yes, I am. Mind your business. But I have my Kindle somewhere, and I don't remember what page I am on First Light Wins. I remember I was on like 31%. Yes, I'm liking it. It reminds me of, like, was it Graceland? Anyways, like, there was a TV show that like a person went undercover, and this is what this book is about. This girl is undercover. Now it just makes so much more sense, hence the identity theft, which makes a little bit more sense. But there's definitely a mystery element. This isn't a thriller. I was looking forward to reading another thriller. Anywho, I'm gonna try and finish Reckless today, because today is the last day of July, so I'm hoping to add this to my wrap-up. Can I do it? We will see. We will have to wait and see. Alright, so day 5? Is it day 5? I'm losing track of days. However, 11:35, if anyone's wondering. But I did finish Reckless. I binged it, and so if anyone is wondering, my wrap-up will be up shortly. And 15 books, not bad. Getting off topic here, but I read Reckless, and listen, I heard so many bad reviews, so many negative reviews saying that this was horrible. So many people were so disappointed. But if anyone's out there not sure if they want to continue on with the series, because I was getting very skeptical, because so many people were like saying, oh, this wasn't even fantasy, this was just pure romance. Listen, I can't defend it. Yes, it was pure romance. It didn't go past like them kissing, so I mean, what romance are you talking about here? Yes, they had so much banter, but if you love the characters in the first, yeah, the first book had the trials, it was fun. She's still running away and trying not to be caught by the enforcer. It's still fun. They're like, I don't know, if you love the first, there's no way you will hate this one. You know what I mean? So I do recommend to read and continue on with the series. I didn't have anything bad to say about it. I think it was fun, bingeable. Can't believe I binged it. But I did start, so hopefully this is my last book, because I'm currently on day 5, and I'm currently on page 32, so slightly made a dent into the book. First of all, I love Ali Hazelwood, and I started this and stayed up way too late reading this. I don't know how I feel about it yet, that's the thing. I'm dipping my toes. I've heard that this is her spiciest book as of yet. I don't particularly love like just pure smut books. However, this one, when the two characters met right off the bat, you can tell that he's a great character. He's going to be wholesome. He's going to be one of those caring guys who do acts of services. I feel like, is that a thing? I don't know. I need to keep reading this, but at the moment I am liking it. I'm enjoying it. I've enjoyed every single one of her books, so hopefully I will enjoy this one. And this cover is just so criminal. I don't like the cover. I like that it's pink, but the cover is like, you will not be catching me out reading this with a cover like this. And I didn't even get to read the first Sly Wins because I obviously was finishing Reckless and I had my little reading lamp on, and yeah, that's my little update anyway, if anyone's wondering. Alright, I'm just checking in. I didn't get far in Not in Love. I didn't get far. I'm nearly halfway, page 150, 380 pages. So, thoughts so far. It definitely, like, so far, it's not the spiciest book that I've read, but I do think it's the spiciest book that Ali has written. And the first spicy scene, if you may call it, is on page 124. So that's like a good bit of chunk that you read through until you get to the spicy scene. So I don't think it's the spiciest book that I read. I don't know what that says about me, but there were two places where I really like the quotes, so I highlighted them. One specifically where he's talking about, like, he was just simping over her, and he said, "I consent to any and all demands, and it'd be so good that you'd probably just ruin me for the rest of my life." And I just sit there grateful. I really like that. And the other one was basically him talking about how he was thinking of something so much, the point where it was probably engraved in his brain at that stage. So he said he would die one day and med students would find the sentences carved in his brain. I don't know, like, I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it. And I don't know if it's because I read Reckless and I really loved that, and then I read Wild Love that I had really enjoyed it, whereas this one is kind of not flat, but I'm not enjoying it as much as her other books. And now I'm being paranoid and skeptical that I don't enjoy her books anymore. I'm scared. I'm so scared. I have one more book to read from her backlog, but like, that's the thing, like, I'm scared because I truly think that Ali Hazelwood was like one of my favorite authors ever, and I don't know. You can hear me sigh and how heavily it is burdening me. So I'm just going to continue on with Not in Love and eat my little fruit palette. Is that what they're called? Fruit palettes? One thing I appreciate is she fell for him, but he fell for her harder. And this is what it is. So you can tell how much he is simping for her. And she's just like trying to act way too unbothered. And I do like the dynamic between the two characters. I think it's like very Ali Hazelwood, if that makes sense. Also, there's one thing that's very obvious, like what the ending is going to be. What was the other one? I think it was Love Theoretically, that had like a similar plot point as this one. Obviously I don't want to say anything in case it will be ruined for someone else. So the whole reason for Eli buying the company, I have a feeling I know why. So do with that what you will. Puh. I thought I was eating a snail. Page 183, under spicy scene. Alright, so where do I begin? It's been like what, 2 weeks since I last checked in. It's been hectic. It's been hella hectic, and I don't really have enough of a good excuse, to be honest. I don't. I'm sorry if you can hear something in the background. My kid is watching YouTube, so I thought I'd quickly mention First Live Wins. And actually, did I? I did. Alright, so basically what happened is I got my iPad, and I got that fixed 2 years. 2 years I kept saying I'll get to it, and I finally got to it. Believe me, it's been hectic, as one obviously does whenever they get something new. It wasn't new, but anyway, it was new for me again. And then what happened is my kid got sick, then I got sick, and we didn't even have the same thing really, but we both did have fever, but we had 2 different things. Don't know, don't ask. So I did finish Not in Love. Did I? I don't think I talked about this. It's been a while. Anyway, I gave this one, what did I give this one? I think I gave this one 3.75 because I kind of did enjoy it, but it just, the characters felt a little flat for me. I know that they were meant to be a bit more on the physical side, but Eli, he was full on simping for the main character, and she just came across a bit like flat in my sense. Very, I know she was not supposed to be very like great with people and stuff, but it really got to me, the fact that like she, I don't know, her feelings were not as clear. She was not communicating as well. I don't know, I didn't like her as much as I would have hoped, and because of her I feel like the rating did go down a bit more than it would have been if it wasn't for her. Overall it wasn't bad, but also I hate to admit it, I really hate to admit it, but come on, focus on me, hello. It's just one of those days, can you tell? One of those weeks, if not once. Can you focus on me? Thank you. Anyways, and then I finished that one a while back, I think maybe last week. And so I was reading this one, First Live Wins, in the evenings because obviously it's on my Kindle and it's easier without putting my light on. And I want to say I would have loved this so much more if this was a thriller. However, it's classified as a thriller and it is not. It's a mystery, and mysteries are very hit and miss for me. Depends the context of what the mystery is. I might enjoy this one. I kind of did, but the flashbacks were really irritating for me. I found those boring. I didn't care about those. I think my downfall was because I went into it thinking it was something completely different. It literally says on the cover, she stole your identity, can you steal it back? There was a little bit, tiny bit of romance happening in there, and those little crumbs, I was eating them up and I enjoyed that part. However, the mystery was really slow. There wasn't really anything happening, and then when you get to it, you're kind of like, oh, okay. Like, I did like the reveal though, I will say that I liked it. So I did give this one 3.5, and that was generous. I was gonna give it 2.25, but the reveal I didn't guess, so 3.5. But yeah, listen guys, it's been a little bit hectic over here. I was just like, I need to finish this vlog. I kept thinking about it in the back of my mind. I was just like, I know I have it. I know I need to get to it. Wild Love and Reckless were definitely the books that I would have recommended over these two. They were still fun, just not the ones that I enjoyed the most. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this very hectic vlog. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next one.